Hello and welcome to this beginner tutorial. In this video, I'll be walking you through the data types in Python, and by the end of this video, you would fully understand all 4 basic data types in Python. It is important that you stick to the end of this video so that you don't miss out on anything. So now fire up your code editor and code along with me. Without further ado, let's dive deep into the video. So what are data types and what are they even used for? Well, there are 4 basic data types in Python, which are strings, integers, floats, and booleans, and we will explore all of this in detail. So starting off with strings, what is a string? A string is actually just a string of characters. Let me explain. For example, the word hello is comprised of these 5 characters that are strung together. And we always know they are strings because of these double quotes around them. That makes us know that, okay, this is a string. So whenever you want to write or express data as a string, it's very, very important. You have to add these double quotes at the end and at the beginning. So now, this is called a string of characters. It could be anything. It could be hello, it could be hello world, it could be hello world. All of this inside these double quotes are strings. Once it is inside of these double quotes, then it is regarded as a string of characters. So for example, instead of just writing hello, we can add some square brackets, and inside the square brackets we can put the index, that is the position of the character or the letter that we want. So let's say we want to have the first character of this word hello, the first character, which is H. Then I will take this box right here, this square bracket, and put 0 right here. And then if we go ahead and print this, what we get is H. That is the first character of this string hello. And almost anything can be written as a string in Python. Now, it's really important. The reason why the first character is 0 and not 1 is because programmers start counting from 0. In programming, we deal with zeros and ones. So this will be 0, this H here will be 0, the E will be 1, the L will be 2, the second L will be 3, and the last and the O will be 4. So always remember, when counting in programming, you start counting from 0. It's very important. So whenever you need to get the first character of a string, always start at 0. So this method of pulling a particular element from a string is called subscripting, and the number in between this square bracket determine what character we pull out of a string. So for example, let's say we put in 2. What do you think this is going to print? You can guess it, and yes, you get L, and get the letter L, because 0, as we said before, the H stands for 0, the E 1, and the first L is 2. So yes, that's it for strings. A string is simply a piece of characters strung together with double quotes at the beginning and at the end. Now take notes. Whenever you write a number inside of a double quote in Python, meaning whenever you write a number inside a string in Python, for example, like this, when you say 1 2 3, this gets treated as a string, not a number. So when you say 1 2 3 plus 3 4 5, so when you say 1 2 3 plus 3 4 5 plus 3 4 5, when you add this up, what do you think is going to be printed in the console? If you already know the answer, let me know in the comments below before I run this code. So now let's print this. Print, run this code. You get 1 2 3 3 4 5. And why is that? Because it is treated as a string because of these double quotes. It's treated as a string and not a number. But if you decide to say print 1 2 3 plus 3 4 5, now you know this is going to sum this up because there are no double quotes around this line of code there, so it's going to be calculated. So the answer is 468. So that's just it. So be careful when you are using strings and numbers when you are writing your code. learn to use strings the right way, because obviously, because you are going to make a lot of errors anyway. Even if you are a pro, you still make a lot of errors, and your duty is to correct those errors. So now let me throw you a small coding challenge. Let's clear this up. If you try to add print 767 plus let's say 147, and you try to add up a string and a number, what do you think is gonna happen? If you know the answer, let me know in the comment section below. Like, don't hesitate, just go to the comment section now and type the answer if you already know the answer, and if you don't, just keep watching along with me. If you try to add a string and a number, of course you will get an error. Kind of error you get here is called a type error. Get a type error, which means you can only concatenate, which means to add. You can only add a string to a string, meaning if you put a string around this, if you turn this to a string and you run the code, you get 767147 because it is now a string. But if I take off this double quotes and make this a number, take this off, let me take this off too. Now what you get now is no longer a string. This won't be strung together. You get a calculation, the sum of these total numbers, which is 914. 767 plus 147, and that is just how strings work. That is that for strings. Let's crunch this. Yeah. Number 2, integers. So an integer is a data type that represents numbers. Now, it's not just any number, but whole and complete numbers like 1, 2, 3, 10. You get the point. 100. It's a complete number. 56. Those are complete numbers. Those are integers. So they are treated as whole numbers. Integer is a whole number. Not numbers like 1.5. These are not integers. These are completely another data type in Python. They're not treated as an integer. So working on integers are pretty straightforward. All you just need to do is, type in 2 plus whatever, 2 plus 12. Print this, print. Then it's very simple. All you do, you get the answer, 14. So to work with integers are extremely simple. You can even say minus 2. Okay, let's say 20 minus 12, and boom, you get the answer. So working with integers are very simple. So it's a no-brainer, and that's just it. So remember, this number here is a number data type, and if you decide to add a double quotes, then this becomes a string, and you can no longer add this up. You can't add this 20 plus this 12. You get an error. So that is it for, and let's mark this up and say boom, integers. Now number 3, we have floats. Floats are numbers also, but they represent numbers with decimals. Numbers like 1.5, or numbers like 3.14 or 1 blah 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 with the decimals inside of it. They are called floats because of the decimals ability to jump around. For example, if you say print 25.8 plus 3.7, now we have a decimal right here and a decimal right here. This decimal is after the first 2 characters. This decimal is after the first character. When you add this up, the decimal can fly between any of these characters. So when you add this up, what you get now, oh my bad, there's a space here. So you get the point now. This dots here, this decimal point can float anywhere. It can stay here, it can be here, it can be here. Depends on the results of the calculation. So that's for floats. And so finally at number 4 we have booleans. Yep. So and then that's booleans. Yeah. So let's talk about booleans. And booleans simply represent true or false. Simple as that. It's a logical data type that can only be either true or false. No sitting on the fence. So let me explain a boolean. Let's say man is David. Could say David is married. So now that man is David, we could say man. So now we could say relationship status equal to single. Okay, true. So we are saying true because true, we are just assigning true. We are assigning the value of true, which means David is married. Okay, let's put it this way. Let's make it is married, true. And then we could say man 2 John and say is married. Let's set that to the value of false. When you try to print and the second value is married, you say is married. Oh, I didn't add this. Let me add this up. You can get the answer. What you get is false. Why is this false? Oh, my bad. There's an error. I ought to have added man is married. And let me run this again. Let's correct this here. Man is man is married. Okay, great. And now we're gonna have true. Now we have David, true, meaning David is married. So let's say we want to print for John. We say print man 2 and boom. So John false, David is married, true, and John is not married. You cannot be half married. You are either married or you are not married. You are either married or divorced. You are either single or not single. The light bulb is either on or off. You can't, it's either 0 or 1. So that's just it for booleans. So that is everything you need to know about booleans. Let me mark this and boom. Yes, that is everything you need to know about booleans, and also that's everything on the primitive data types in Python. So what data type did you find most interesting? Is it the strings, the integers, the floats, or the booleans? For me, it is the strings. The strings are quite interesting, and the booleans. So let me know what data type you found most interesting in the comments. I reply to every single comment in the comment section, and if you have any question or a topic you want me to make a video about, do not hesitate at all. Just let me know in the comment section, and for all of that and more, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.